What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today it's a little bit too hot. It is a heat wave right here. It is 35 degrees and I'm not willing to work in that condition. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna launch something new. You can kind of look at it like a podcast, but not really a podcast, but it's we talking about the bikes and whatever. Maybe in the future we're gonna do this live on YouTube, but for now we're just gonna do this because we are still a little bit in a struggle for parts. There's gonna be an update on the crankshaft that like I told you last week. But for now, we're just gonna talk about the bike so you guys can get a clearer view of what we are doing, what is in the works and what we are planning to do and whatever. I'm here with Shade. This is the owner of the Fox, so it is his bike, it's his vision. It's not really my vision of the bike. I have my RCX to do my vision, but this is his vision. And we're gonna talk about the Fox right now and talk to you about everything. But first, let me introduce the Shade.
Hi, semke.
So, talk a little bit about yourself, what got you into bikes, and talk about this bike, how you got it, and what you want to do with it, your vision and whatever.
Yeah, that's a lot to talk about. So it's the first time I'm been talking on the camera. Sometimes I'm in the background. Most of the times I'm in the background, so I'm more comfortable with that.
But for everything, there is a first time. Of course, I am more used to this kind of stuff. I've been doing this for 5 years right now, so I'm a little bit used to it. But for the Shade, it's really new, so bear with him.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, but talk a little bit about how you got into bike, because I know when we were small, like we were 16, we know each other from then. You weren't really into bikes. You come over here when I had bikes. We rode like 50cc scooters and whatever, but you didn't really have a bike back then.
No, it was like that. So my father ride a motorcycle, and he always told me, well, when you're 16, you don't get a bike or a moped or whatever. You have to wait until you're 21 so you can ride a real motorcycle. Otherwise, the moped is in the garage and you never ride it with it again. So, I had to wait until I was about 21. And I came a lot to semke to ride with the mopeds. We had, I think, a PX.
Honda PX.
Honda,
we had two of those. Now it's called MBK, but it used to be called Motobecan, French brand. What else did we have?
Some kind of scooter, but I don't remember the mark anymore.
It was a Yamaha.
An ugly one with two I think.
Two
very little lights in the front.
No, oval lights, two of them.
Yeah.
Really ugly bike. We have video about that. Maybe I'm gonna show a little picture of that bike, but we stripped the whole bike down and rode it in the backyard and totally destroyed. It is gone right now. You have to consider I had a lot of bikes. Not really fancy bikes or ones that I could ride on the street, but I had a lot of bikes, and my parents said, hey, we can't have all these bikes right here, so you have to get rid of one. And at one point I got home and the bike was gone. When you look at it right now, it's a little bit of a shame. We had a lot of nice bikes right here. Definitely a investment, but you can't keep everything. Like with the project that we have right now, we are still thinking about removing some bikes, like the Little Monster, thinking about getting rid of that bike, the Chow, also thinking about maybe... the Chow is a hard thing because it is like the base stone of this channel. When I started first working on the bikes, the Chow was like a big part of it. Mm-hmm. But
the problem here is when you have a bike or a motorcycle or a moped or whatever, you have to have a number plate for it, a number plate for this one, for this one, for this one. You can't have one number plate for all the bikes. So you have to pay insurance for this one, for this one, for the other one. And if you have 5 or 6 bikes, it's impossible to pay insurance for every bike, have a number plate for every bike. So we have to get rid of it all the time. I had 5 motorcycles before, still have 1, but it's impossible, even for my wife, to keep them all. I don't have the place for it. That's a shame, because maybe within 20 years, the bike has a bigger value. Like the Yamaha R1 is a bike everyone wanted. Yeah, it's a model you don't see anymore, or
no, you don't see them a lot on the streets, because it is a big bike and it has a lot of power. It's for my opinion, it's more a track bike than a road bike.
It was too much to ride it on the street. You were in second gear and you ride almost 120, 130 kilometers an hour, and I had still 4 gears over left. So
even with the CBR, it's at the edge. You can do a lot of fun stuff, but I think mainly for the streets right here, where there is a speed limit, maybe in 30, Germany 50, where you can go all out, a 300 or a 500, you can have more fun on that than like a 1000 or especially a sports bike. If you have a chopper, a 1000 or bigger, isn't really that problem, because that is for easy cruising. But for a sports bike,
that's the point. Now my chopper, he has a lot of torque, not a lot of horsepower, but that's what is cool. When it's green light, you can go, but the limit is 140 kilometers an hour. So I think mine goes 260. The R1 did 300 and above. Digital it was 299, but I think with some modifications on it 310 maybe that, but I never checked it out. So it's a crazy bike.
I rode it once, but then there was a problem with the chain. The sprocket was worn out and it was a little bit shaky. Well, not shaky, but I call it glitchy. When you want to go, it's stuttered a little bit and like whatever, shaking but it was a nice bike. That was the first bike I saw you ride. We didn't see each other for a very long time. I think about when we were 18 until we were 27, 28. I think 27. I started my YouTube channel when I was 27.
Think a little bit before. I think it was on a party. I came across you.
Yeah.
And then there was we talked to each other. There was a little time between that again.
There was a little bit of a connection right then where we established a connection, but later on to gaming. And
we were always friends. I think about for 15 years, 16 years we are friends, but with some periods we didn't saw each other.
Life.
We didn't have a fight or something.
Life got in the way. I moved to another city.
I bought a house. I get married. I got 2 children. So that's a bit.
You can have good friends, but keeping in touch is really hard because life, work, whatever. It's not the same when you're 16 years old and you have nothing to do but play video games and ride bikes. So
more worried about than playing games or riding bikes.
So what was really your first bike, your first experience on a motorcycle or a moped or whatever?
Well, first experience with mopeds was here with you. In the time we drove the car with your mom and stuff like that. But
wasn't it when you came here and you ride the moped? Weren't you like, I want one for myself, or was it just fun? Hey, this is fun, but I don't want to ride on the street, because I had a lot of mopeds to ride on the in the backyard, but I couldn't ride a moped or whatever on the streets.
For me, it was more like I've seen it from my dad, like I said, and I always wanted to ride a big motorcycle. but then I got to know the mopeds from you. And then I had something like, oh yeah, I want a moped to go to school, and it's cool because not a lot of guys had a moped in school. I think maybe five guys or
it was
even one guy with I think a derby. It was like a speed bike, but a 50
racer derby.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But then again, when I asked my parents, they say no, because you're gonna ride with a motorcycle, and then the scooter or the moped is here in the garage. So it's waste of money. So I say okay, then I don't buy a scooter or a moped. So we had fun here with the peaks and whatever. But then I turned 21. Almost 21, and I wanted to do my driver's license for a motorcycle. And then my dad say, hey, I found a chopper, because I wanted the chopper. Well, it was not really a chopper, but anyway, it was a Honda Shadow 750, I think a C2 or C3 American Classic. So it was, I think, a remake or of some Harley model. Whatever, maybe you can.
Yeah, I show you a
picture.
Yeah.
So I rode it for about 2 years, and then I had something. 750, not too much, not too much horsepower, whatever. I wanted more a race bike, so I found a Honda CB Boldor, I think 900cc. And it was ugly. It was in the backyard of an old guy who rode it before, and I think he asked €400 for that.
Oh, pretty cheap.
Yeah. So, but he say, it's been years ago. I've ride it, and I don't know if he's gonna start. And I say, whatever, because I had the focus on, oh damn, it's a great bike, and I could see me riding with it. I could see how I changed it, or even if it was a mess. If you saw the tires were flat, it was it was not a nice bike. But I changed that with my father-in-law, and I painted black with some gold stripes. That was the how you call it? It was in.
It was the style of bikes right there.
Yeah. And with the golden wheels, and changed a little bit on the engine. I go to the garage with it. They put 4 air filters on it. It was a 4-cylinder, and I ride it also 2 years, I think. Then I said, maybe it's time for another one. And my wife was like, again? But I must say, when I ride a motorcycle for about 2 years, 3 years, time for something new. After 2 years, I changed for another bike. It was not that expensive. I think 3,000, 4,000 euros. So that was okay. But anyway, with the CB 900, I found a Dutch guy, and he had a CBR 1000 Super Sport from the year 90, I think. And he saw my bike because I put it on the internet for sale, and I asked about €1,500 or €2,000, I don't know anymore. And he said, hey, you want to swap? I have a CBR 1000 Super Sport. I show you pictures and everything. Oh, yeah, cool. So the guy, he came over from Holland with his truck, and we swapped the bike. So I had from one day to the other, I had a speed bike. It was on the speedometer, it was 300 was the maximum. That don't exist anymore. But for me, that was wow. The first time when I ride that bike, it was shit. That's crazy. He goes real fast, and I think he had. I should search it up. maybe 160 horsepower, not much, I think. But anyway,
which is still a lot concerning the bikes right now.
Yeah, but when you came from 80 horsepower, 160, I think it was a lot. And indeed, the bikes today, they had 200 horsepower.
Yeah.
When you go back in the 90s, 160. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So I ride that bike also for a year or two, but that was because I had a crack underneath my gas tank.
Yeah.
And I tried to repair it, but it opened again and again and again, and it's hard to find some new pieces for it. So I do it. I get rid of it for I think also €1,000. So a young guy bought it. And I had no bike anymore, so I was like, oh, damn, no bike, what am I gonna do? The sun is shining, I can't ride, blah, blah, blah. And my wife, she said, oh yeah, you have to search some money to get a new bike. But my dad is also a biker, so he said, oh, that's crazy, no, you don't have a bike, maybe I can give you some money or loan some money. So I found on the internet Yamaha R1 2010, and he had about 200 horsepower, and the bike he weighs 200 kilos, so that's one horsepower per kilo. And he asked about, I think, €8,000 for it. So we bought that one, and I think that was the period we.
Yeah, I think I know you from. Just after you purchased that bike, it was a really nice sounding bike.
Although I like more the sound of your bike because it's more a racing sound.
Yeah, GP sound. And whatever.
From the Yamaha R1, it had an Akrapovic on it from the front to the back, and the sound is more rough. It's like
it's a lower tone.
Yeah.
Mine is like a higher screeching tone. Yeah.
So when we get in a tunnel, I can't hear my bike anymore because he was with me screaming.
That's the weird part when the first ride that we did, or when I first heard your bike in real life, I like the sound more of your bike, and you like the sound of my bike. So that is perfect when you are riding. When you ride behind the person, you can hear their bike more than you hear yours. So
even though I searched before I found the Yamaha, I searched for a Honda Repsol, the same like you, but 1000cc.
Yeah, Fireblade.
Yeah, the Fireblade with the Repsol colors on it, but it's hard to find. Or they have been on track, or they are crashed, or they are ugly, or you can't find them anymore. Not in a very good state. So not like yours. Yours is very cool, but I think
here it comes.
Because it's a 600. It does not have the big value like 1000, because the 1000cc, and that's with every bike. A 600 is very cool to ride, and certainly on our roads it's the best, because 1000 is too much. But if you look to the value of a bike, then is 1000 he has a bigger value than a 600. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. Everyone wants, I want 1000, I want 1000.
Yeah, I think that is the main problem with people right now. They think the CCs or how bigger your engine is, the better the bike is, but that is not the case. I have a guy, I know a guy who has a 600, I have a 600, and he says he can compete with me, but his bike is heavier, doesn't have much horsepower. So people don't look at that and they say, hey, I got a 600, I want to go faster, hey, I'm going to go for a 1000, but that is not how it works. You can do a lot of stuff on a 600 to compete with higher bikes. Even when we did like a small drag race, it was well, I'm not an experienced rider. You have much more experience than me, but it was close. I could keep up, but at high speed.
At high speed, because the torque is almost the same. And that, I'm going to tell you something embarrassing. I was at the red light, and there was a Harley came next to me. We were talking a couple of seconds, and he asked me, "Hey, you want to race? You want to drag?" So I was with my CBR, and I say, "Yeah, of course." And my head, I have one already, so and it was green. So me, full power, I was gone. He passed me with his Harley, and that's what I mean. If you have a lot of torque, you can win in a drag. Yeah, I passed them again on speed because I can ride 300 kilometers an hour, and he may be 160, 170. So yeah, I passed them again, but
yeah, he gets there quicker
the drag,
because of the power that he has, not the speed.
Of course,
racer bikes are meant for speed, and yeah, they have a lot of power, but yeah, you can't compare the one with the other. I mean, of course, with this channel, I get a lot of questions of people. How can I go faster and all? And I see, like, I notice that some people don't have really the knowledge of how an engine works, or they have like a basic knowledge. So when people ask me these questions, I couldn't really respond at the time. So I wait a couple of days, and other people start responding, and they say, "Yeah, put a bigger cylinder in, and you get more speed and all." But
no,
yeah, that's not how it works, and that is what I really want to show with this channel, that even with this bike, we're gonna put the 50cc is gonna stay in there, but we're gonna try to get it as high performance that we can, without going a bigger cylinder or whatever.
It's more than just an exhaust and put some K&N air filters in it. No, you have to go to a shop. Then I made a mistake with my R1. I've taken out the
catalytic converter.
And then another air filter in it. Well, yeah, that will go real fast. No, you just lose about 20 horsepower. You have to go to a shop. It has to be on a dyno. They have to change everything.
And I explained it to you why it didn't work, and you understand. Your bike started popping, and when you explain that fuel is going into your exhaust system, you are losing power. But it sounds cool. I mean, when you ride a bike and you decelerate and it pops and it explodes and all, people look at that and they think, that is a very powerful bike, but
it's not.
it is cringe-worthy for me. Even when I ride home from work, sometimes I see a bike and it pops, whatever, when he accelerates, when he decelerates, when we get to a red light, and I'm like in the car, like, dude, you're losing horsepower. You are not cool. But yeah, that's the mechanic in me talking.
And then you still have a difference between racing bikes, or when you see a chopper, like my chopper, he pops and bangs also, but that's not the main reason. Is not because I'm losing horsepower. That's different exhaust, blah blah blah. Then you have. That's another question. You know, it's so many things you have to change. You change an exhaust, and you have so many things.
Yeah, like small little things that you change. You have to look at the other stuff. Getting a new exhaust. When you have injectors, you have to tune your injectors. If you have a carb, you have to tune your carb. So people think, hey, fast exhaust, I'm gonna go fast, more power, but
no.
Yeah, that is mainly my frustration with, I'm gonna call it the kids these days, but people think, it is.
That's what we and most you then want to show to you guys with this bike. It is a lot of work to change something like that. We want to keep the 50cc in it. just to show you how to make a street legal bike that is running good. It's not. We can make 2 videos. We changed an exhaust, and the other video is we painted in another color, so that's it. Bike is riding, number plate on it, and we are gone.
Yeah,
that's not how we want to roll with this. And that's why it is also a big series of the Peugeot Fox videos.
Yeah, I think we're at 10 right now or whatever. Don't know really. But yeah, but this is like the extreme right now. We're doing a lot of stuff with the frame, with the engine, with everything. But I want the people to catch some stuff from all different videos. If you want to work on your engine, you can see those videos. If you want to do more frame stuff, you can also see that. Restoring parts or whatever, or cleaning stuff. You can get everything in this series.
Your ride, a proper ride that rides good on the street, you have to watch this series so you can check it out. How you clean a carburetor, how do you, well, if you want to stretch your bike, how do you stretch your bike?
Yeah,
but it's
wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
But
but all the basics are in the videos. And that's what you need.
A lot of information that I try to give, but
we always can be wrong for certain things, but that's the thing. You can answer, or you can.
Leave a comment down below if we did something wrong. Even on the Chow, when I reassembled the engine, I did something wrong. And I acknowledged it in the next video. I put little copper washers where the piston connects to the rod, and when I turned over the engine with the motion of the engine, the copper washers stretched out and they got in my cylinder head and whatever. And there was a guy saying, "Hey, you did something stupid. Don't try that stuff and all." And I said straight on, like, hey, I showed what I did wrong so people don't make that mistake. So
yeah, that's it. And we are not going to get mad when you tell us, you did that wrong. Oh yeah, where did we do it wrong so we can do it again? Or no problem.
This is like more sharing information. I share information to you guys, you share information to me. It's a mutual thing that we are doing right here. But we did a lot of talking right now about who are you and what you rode before and all your bikes. But let's talk about the Fox right now. Where does the Fox come from? What were your plans with it? Because it wasn't like I want to race, but I want a moped or I want to rebuild something. You didn't purchase the bike for this channel or whatever. You bought it to go to work. And
I changed my job, so I needed something else. I didn't need a car anymore. That was the case. So
you were looking for something cheaper to ride.
I rode my bicycle to work. It was, I think, 5 or 6 kilometers, but for me riding a bike or bicycle is shit. So I checked out for a moped or a scooter and talked to Semke about it, and I really wanted to get a Peugeot Fox because we knew somebody in school who had a Peugeot Fox, and it was a cool bike. But Peugeot Fox these days cost a lot of money. I've got to say about 600, 700 euro, 800 euro sometimes. But one day I find a Peugeot Fox. It was original. Well, you've seen it. And I paid, I think, 650 euros for it from a guy who worked on mopeds and scooters. And I did.
He said he checked over the bike and made it all perfect and working.
And I've got to say, it's a Peugeot Fox Deluxe, so it's with the electric starter also. You have the Kickstarter, but you have also the electric starter. And I've touched the bike, it was cold. He started directly, the bike started up. It drives. Everything is good. So I got the number plate, got my insurance, which is a lot for a 50cc.
Yeah.
I think I pay €150 for 1 year, and I pay less for my 900cc chopper bike. So it's crazy here in Belgium. Welcome. And I ride the Peugeot for I think 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah, not a lot of time.
Yeah, and it's
It broke immediately.
Yeah.
I know that. I did some work on it before. Got the restriction out of the exhaust, but it broke. It didn't,
when I
work.
got to stop or a red light, it died immediately. It was really weird. So, and then I have to kick it again. It won't start, so I had to wait till it cooled down, start it again. Had a lot of
issues and
issues
whatever.
with it.
But
So then I got another job because they quit over there. That's another story. So I didn't need the bike anymore, and it was in my garage eating dust. And one day we were gaming and we were talking about changing a bike. And
there was a little bit of a talk before that I would purchase the bike and make it all use it for the channel because I need bikes to work on, and getting bikes is really hard right now. But we were talking about that. But that's time, money, and whatever. I have different projects, so we didn't really go through with that. And after
one day I said to Semke, well, you know what? You can use my bike for making videos of it. I will pay for it.
Yeah, we
not
got
the hours because he's doing this for free.
We were gonna change the exhaust and whatever. It broke.
Yeah.
It didn't work anymore. You couldn't get it started, and I was gonna work on it and make it all better so you can sell it again and you got your money back and whatever. That was really the plan. But I started talking about the track day that I wanted to do with the 50cc, with the RCX, that I'm going to build that. And we started talking about your Fox, and one thing rolled into another, and now we're stretching the frame and rebuilding the engine.
Plus, I've got to say, you have the RCX also, and it's been a small dream to one day ride together a bike on the streets together on the track. So we started with this project now.
And how do you feel about it? When you first started, when we first got the bike right here, you were here to disassemble it and take the parts home for selling. What did you think? How fast would it? Not how fast would it go, but how to the point that we were gonna ride it again. And
I was talking in a couple of months, I think.
Yeah,
like everyone.
Yeah.
Because I know some guys that are watching this video will say, I was also like that. No, I'm changing a bike, and then within 2 or 3 months, I ride it on the streets. No. No.
Especially with what we're doing, re-welding the frame. That doesn't happen overnight. You have to have resources, planning, and actually doing the job and doing a good job. That's a little bit of, I would say, a problem, but a blessing with me. I will always want to do something that is perfect, that it's good.
Plus, the thing is, if you can do that, you search for Peugeot Fox tuned on Google images. You will see all Peugeot Fox. Most of them are standard with another exhaust and some other paintworks on it, and that's it.
Maybe different headlight. Look at it; it's tuned.
With 2 little lights, or it's nice. It's cool when you're 16. I agree.
I don't have a lot of money or resources or whatever.
But we wanted to make something when you see the bike and they have to ask, which bike is that? And then we say, it's a Peugeot Fox. Well, damn crazy. It has Peugeot on it. I know. But
some elements you have to see, like you have to know the bike to see what kind of bike it is. But we want to get a whole different look. Because what we are going for, you don't see it on the streets or whatever. Even bikes like this, standard, you don't really see them anymore. I mean, how old is this bike?
I think
Plus
he's
25
from,
or...
I think he's from 97, I guess.
Yeah.
It can be older than that also. I have to check the papers.
Don't quote us on that on when the bike was made, but yeah,
25 years plus maybe. Yeah.
When we were younger, you saw a lot of those bikes, and they were pretty cheaper, and everybody got them. But now it's all scooters. Yeah, which is cool. Also, you have to be for the scooters.
When we go to school, this was crap. You know, when you ride a Peugeot Fox or you had a Wallaro from Honda, it was that's crap. I drive a Derby, like a 50cc racer with gears. That's cool.
Or
and
the
now,
boost, or even the boosters, the MBK boosters. Those were. I really want a bike like that because that was our childhood, or even my childhood.
Yeah. If we had known then what's happening now, we would have kept all of them.
I even know when I got my first bike, like the Chao, that was my first bike that I got because I had to do some job 10 kilometers away, and my parents finally gave me a bike to go on the road. We checked out for a booster. We went to a shop and see what it cost for a new booster, and you can guess how much it was, brand new out of the box.
Yeah,
how much would it be?
Remember.
Take a guess.
Now they are asking how much? 1,200 euro, 1,300 euros for one.
Yeah.
Then back then, I don't know. Maybe
I'm gonna give you a tip. It's a lot more.
A lot more than
now. Brand new, eh? No, not second hand. Brand new.
It cost more back in time.
More.
Yeah, I think 2,500 then. More than the Brixton.
More. 4,500 was it for a scooter back then.
That's crazy.
Even the 50cc racer that you were talking about, 6,800.
Oh yeah, that I know. Yes.
That's
crazy because now you can buy for 4,000, 5,000 euro. You have a big bike. You have a 900cc or 1,000cc or 1,200cc.
Even my Brixton, a 125cc, 2,700 euros. I mean, the comparison right there. But they were.
But then you have the case of it's being a Chinese bike, or in that case a Japanese bike. That's also a difference. But anyway, back then, 4,500 euro, nobody would pay for these days.
Yeah, if you really bugged your parents for that bike. I wish I had that bike. I really wish that they would give it to me, but I understand. Yeah, for comparison, the Chow cost 500 euros.
Yeah, of course. We were not the rich guys in school. That's for sure.
No, but the guys who got those bikes also did work after hours, after school and all.
Yeah.
We didn't do that. We went home and gamed, and you played music and whatever.
Well, we have to work the rest of our lives, so we took vacation then.
Yeah. 2 months vacation to start fires and
when his parents were gone for the weekend, we were cruising the bikes here, cruising with the car from your mom, whatever. Stupid stuff. But anyway, there's still a video on it online, I think.
To continue with this, let's talk about the crankshaft. So, in my last video, I told you guys I'm going to contact the sellers. I'm going to contact MotorKit to see what the update is on a crankshaft, because there is a lot of questions about crankshaft online from other Fox riders. And I got an email back. I sent them an email and they did respond really quickly the next day. I think I sent the email about 10 p.m. and they answered me at 9 a.m. And basically what they told me that it's going to take another 2 months for a new crankshaft to arrive for the first batch that's coming in. And the second batch is going to be in September. So yeah, I think we're gonna bite the bullet, get the bearings for it, and put the old crankshaft in there. I mean, for somebody who doesn't work on bikes, I think they would wait until they get a new crankshaft. But for us, yeah, we can work on bikes. We don't gonna ride it every single day. It's just for we can keep a close eye on it. If it breaks or if we hear some weird sounds. I mean, if you ride it every single day to work, I wouldn't recommend it. But
I don't think that even who is someone who rides his bike every day to work and he want to change this, he didn't even notice it was that bad. Well, it's not that bad.
So yeah, the crankshaft isn't really that bad. It got a little bit of play in it, but not at a point that I would say this is gonna break in the next few kilometers. So it will work, and it's gonna work with the new bearings. I think the bearings were the biggest problem when we pulled them out and we felt how they rolled. They were really crappy, but I mean, we can put this crankshaft in there, break it, or keep an eye on it when it breaks.
70cc on it.
Nah,
maybe we will see.
Or with the money that we are saving from buying a new crankshaft, we can save a little bit more to get that performance crankshaft. And if this breaks, then we go for that performance.
I think this one cost on MotorKit 70 euros. I think 69. And the other one is more than 90 euros.
Yeah, 90 euros, yeah. And I told this in my last video, yeah, if we would put a 70cc on the bike, yes, I would say go for the bigger crankshaft. But for a 50cc, who knows, this whole assembly could blow up when we first started. Even the cylinder is still stock. We're going to reuse that. Just gonna change the piston. It could break, it couldn't do whatever, but I'm not really concerned about it. Putting this old crankshaft in there.
I ride with it, and the engine was much worse.
Yeah. The biggest problem with the engine at that point was that the piston rings were seized into the piston from dirt and carbon buildup. Which I told you before, it's the self-mixing system, and that's really crap that we are eliminating right now. I think that was the biggest problem. So
when you buy a Peugeot Fox and it's a deluxe version, think about it. It has a
self-mixing,
with oil that's self-mixing. It's no good.
Which is practical. You can go to a fuel pump, just pump in fuel. You don't have to mix. But I never had a bike like that. I always use premix.
But that's the only difference. On a deluxe, you only have the electric starter, the oil mixer, and you have a body seat. That's the only difference between a normal Fox and a deluxe Fox.
Yeah, and the automatic choke. Is the automatic choke on a normal version?
That I don't know.
The electric choke? Don't know.
Maybe you can tell us.
Which is also a thing that can break. We are really simplifying this bike using cables and not really electrical systems anymore.
The more we can eliminate on this bike, the better.
Yeah.
Because we are planning to maybe go on a track day,
maybe planning. I think we're
certain we're gonna do that.
next year, because it is in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
When this video comes out, it's 2 weeks. Yes, the 6th it is.
I think.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
It was almost impossible to
Yeah,
get the deadline, but now it is impossible.
Even with, I mean, if the front fork wasn't broken, we could have.
Yeah.
And if the parts were in stock, we could have done it.
Yeah. But it's more fun when we can go with a bike that is completely finished, where we can be proud of it, when we can save on. Yeah, that's what we really wanted. Then that we go with a bike with the stock
who is half finished, that we're not happy about how it looks and all. When we go next year, that is going to be the bike that we want, and how it's going to perform, and whatever doesn't really matter, but it's going to perform good. Don't expect high numbers in speed, but when we go on the throttle, it will go, and it will go consistently, and no hesitations or whatever. So that is my goal with this project, that I want to achieve, that it is good.
I don't see no problems in it, because it runs good here.
Yeah, before we pulled it out.
Yeah, he rides about 45, 50.
I didn't think we done a speed test on it.
No.
I did a speed test when I first fixed up the bike, and I think it was 85. No, not 85. I always 58. Get the 58. I always get the numbers mixed up. 58 or 53 it was. Don't really know for sure. But yeah, I think aiming for 70 could work.
Yeah.
I mean,
would be cool.
I mean, letting the bike run better, getting all that stuff off of it, the weight reduction. Tuning the CVT, tuning the carb, getting a better flowing exhaust on it, because it was the stock exhaust with like a small little exhaust hole. For now, we're gonna when we put on an exhaust, it's gonna be something totally different, custom build and whatever.
When we have a finished product here, which is a 50cc Peugeot Fox stretched one, then we can maybe say later on, now we're taking off the engine again and we put something else on it, bigger. Then we can show you a series of videos, maybe, that how you tune it, how you change it, how you put a bigger one on it. But that's not for now. Now we want to keep it stock and maybe ride it a couple of times here in the streets. That would be cool.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be happy when that point is, that we can change small stuff. Now it's all coming together, which is more a problem for me than for you.
Yeah.
I do a lot of work on this bike, and it gets overwhelming. I start on this, that doesn't work. I go to this, but
many thanks for that, because he does do this for free. I'm cruel. I don't pay him, but.
He just pays for parts.
I'll pay
I just send him the list for.
I'll buy them.
€100. Buy this. I need this.
So you can imagine we are good friends.
So what you're now gonna do, the reason that you came over, is you're gonna do the wheels.
Yeah.
I told this before. I am not gonna sand the wheels.
Because I don't want to color the bike. I don't want to paint the bike. It's impossible to not paint the bike completely. So maybe
we're gonna do something with the colors.
But I want to.
There will be paint, but it's gonna be different than a normal bike.
Yeah. So the main color of it is just like he's over here. I want to keep him like that. Like it's a metal looking bike. But with the wheels, they are aluminum, but it don't look like brushed aluminum. So I'm going to try to make it look like brushed aluminum.
Yeah, when you look at the inside of the rim, it's nice and shiny. We don't want that. We want like a brushed aluminum look. Now you have the casting of the mold. You can see like small little pits in there, and so we want to get rid of that, not go full shine, but get it nice and smooth, that it looks good and looks better. Like maybe something like here, that it's smooth enough but not like chrome finish, because we don't really like chrome finish, especially on bikes like this. We want a little bit of a show look, but not like the extreme chrome everywhere.
It's not a Harley Davidson or something.
No.
On bikes like that, it's very cool, but on this, no, just this is pretty cool. Or
small polished parts, like the edge of the rim is gonna be polished, but the whole wheel, it's gonna be brushed aluminum.
Even this one here is black. Semke, he cleaned it all, but the black finish, we are going to try to take that off, and maybe. Well,
you didn't see the video, right? Yeah. You didn't see the video that I made. I talked about it, and we were talking about painting it yellow, like a Olin spring. But I think it looks cool with the black. But we're gonna mount it just like this, and we know a guy who sells Fox parts, and maybe we can get a spring for cheap, and maybe get that paint off there, and maybe paint it in a color that we want. But for now, I mean, it is waiting on parts already, so I don't want to get that spring out of here, get it powder coated and whatever. So we're gonna do that like that. The spring is serviced right now, so we can take it apart much easier than before. And maybe when we get the whole bike, then we can change up some stuff, like
finishing up.
I told this before, I don't want to spend a lot of time cleaning up parts, polishing, painting and whatever, and then when I try to reassemble it, it doesn't work, and all that work is for nothing. I want to get the bike into a rolling frame, get the engine going. I mean, the engine, you can do a lot of stuff, but on the frame it's a little bit harder. We could paint strip it and sand it and get it over to powder coat and do the forks and whatever, and at the end of the day something goes wrong, we can't assemble something, and we have to...
but that's also the case when we have to go for powder coating or painting or stuff like that. We can't do that by ourselves, so we have to also pay for it. And you have to remember, I've paid already $650 for this bike.
Parts is gonna be like 200, 250.
A couple of €100.
At the end.
Where does it end? It's not a bike that is worth €1,500.
Of course, we are not gonna. We talked about this. When the bike is finished, sell it, keep it, or whatever. We
still don't know.
No.
If I win Euro Millions tomorrow, I will put it
in a glass cage.
Or maybe we can play lottery with the subscribers, and then I give it for free to somebody. But I'm not that rich, so.
Maybe when the bike is finished, something will pop up that we can do with it, or whatever. But
we will see.
So let's talk about a little bit of the seats. They are sitting right here.
Well,
that is also your job.
It's big. Well, it's shit.
Making a seat is really hard.
It's hard. It's hard because the model we want to make.
I think there are two things that can make or break a bike. One is the seat. Because it can be comfortable, it can be uncomfortable, and a gas tank on a big bike. If you have an ugly gas tank, that is the first thing that people are noticing. And it's something you have to get right. It has to look good with the bike. We can put whatever seat on there and it will look either crap or good. So we're trying to make our own seat. We are researching stuff and figuring stuff out, because I have never done it before. I've seen videos about it, people doing it. Of course, when back in the day, American Chopper did it all the time.
Yeah.
They built their own seats, but doing it ourselves in this environment with the products that we have, the resources, the tools, the time,
Well,
and not a complete bike.
It's hard because I've worked with glass fiber before, so that's not the case. But what does it cost? If you look on the internet for a seat who is already finished, not painted,
not
but
completely finished.
you have the seat, you have the glass fiber around it.
Yeah.
And you can buy this for about €65, I think, something like that.
Yeah, but you don't have mounting points or whatever.
No, nothing.
It doesn't fit
So-
on your bike. You need to cut it. You need to paint it.
€65, and you've got one, and then you have to grind it and whatever.
Yeah.
So I've make 2 molds, but when you buy the, how you call it,
The foam. Yeah.
the foam, you buy the foam.
Yeah,
you have to
not
buy.
really the foam, but
Well, it's sort of foam.
the stuff that you make the shape out of.
Yeah, we don't know the
The
word.
sculpting stuff.
So if you buy that, then you buy aluminum tape. You have to buy your glass fiber. You have to buy the products to make it all hard, whatever.
Yeah.
I've paid about
And then you have a rough part. You still need to sand it. What do you call it? Not epoxy it, but smooth it.
You have to make
Sink.
a seat on it.
Yeah.
Also the points where you can
Mount it
on the bike. So without that, I only paid €45
Yeah.
for these molds. So that's also a lot of money, and then I didn't think over before that. So I'm going to make one of these, or I'm going to buy another seat because we
I would rather
So-
have a custom seat than
yeah, of
a
course.
store-bought seat.
So I will make one of these, but we can see if it works, it works. If it fails, well, then we've got to buy another one.
Yeah.
But this is the first one I made. It's pretty big. So that was the first time I made one like that.
It's a Minecraft seat.
Yeah. So if somebody wants it, you can have it. But that's maybe more for a big bike, like a coffee racer or something.
Yeah.
So we can keep it. You never know when we are going to use it.
It is memories.
Yeah. And then I made this one a little bit smaller. We fit it on the bike, and
It looks
the
better.
the scale is good. Eh?
Yeah. Well, of course, we have a smaller bike. If you put this on the Brixton or the Mesh, it would look good. This is more like moped style. And mopeds are much smaller and whatever. So that looks better than the other one. But of course, getting it on the frame is a nightmare, and we're gonna have to rethink that, get a whole different process going. I think we jumped a little bit on the seat.
Yeah.
We should have waited until we have a rolling frame that you can sit on it, see where the position is that you are sitting on. Foot pegs needs to be on there, steering handlebars needs to be on there, so we know how far you want to sit, and you can make a seat that is too far or too much in the back, or that doesn't fit on the frame. Even now with the frame, we did a lot of stuff on it, grinded away a lot of things. What is gonna be added? What is gonna be also be grinded off? We don't know that, so it's a little bit hard to see what we have to work with. But yeah, I think it's still fun working on this bike, but it is a headache, and it isn't the headache that I was expecting. I think you weren't expecting this at all.
Well, it's more a headache for you than for me, because you
still
work on the bike. But anyway,
now we're at the progress, or at the point that in the beginning, taking apart the bike, it's fun. Yeah, we're gonna do that and that, and then you come at the level that, we need that, and you just.
It's two things,
you stay there on the level that you get parts and you're excited about it, or you can say, shit, this is hard. I don't want to do this
hard.
anymore.
We have to say it's hard but it's like two things. You should see how many work this is for working on the bike and filming this.
Yeah.
All together, it's like a whole day for 20 minutes of video.
I aim always for 15 minutes of video, but mainly I'm here about 10 a.m. until 7 a.m. whatever. Then I go home. But then the whole process of editing still needs to go on.
Also a couple of hours.
Yeah, and 4 or 5 hours.
You like it. It's cool. But if we didn't have to film it, it would be much easier,
I would do the wheels, I would do...
And even for that, when we have to wait for the parts and this goes wrong and this is not good, and we have to still make a video for you guys.
And there's no consequences. I can do something terribly wrong and I will hear about it. Yeah. So, yeah. But it's still fun. I still enjoy it, but...
I think it will not be the last bike we are doing.
No, but when people see last video, they will see that I'm frustrated with the parts, not with the bike. But for now, we come to a conclusion that we're gonna keep on rolling. We're gonna get the bearings and start working on it again, and then we're gonna stay on that level of, it's fun. We're gonna see progress, because for now I feel like in the last few videos there's not a lot of progress. The engine is still like this. We paint strip the wheels. Yeah, it's cool. It looks nice, but it's not.
But now this one is the biggest one. So now I'm going to order the parts and we can go on.
Yeah, when that one is in there, we can mount the ignition system, flywheel, variator, piston, and the engine is gonna go together. Then we just need a carb to get that on there. The fork is still gonna be a problem getting that on there. Still need parts for that. But when we get a nicer rolling frame, it's gonna be much more fun.
Yeah. I always tell Semke, think about next year. We are going to set in a tent.
I always
with a nice bike, and then we can race with it.
But I always need to think about next week. What I'm gonna do next week.
I made a picture, with our heads on it. Maybe you can show it then.
Yeah. So in these episodes you can really see what we are about, the bikes and whatever. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more of this channel, there are gonna be links in the description down below with every single playlist, from Little Monster, the Brixton, the RCX, and the Fox Racer. So if you want to check those out, every single video is gonna be in there. That is going to be it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. And if you're not already subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.